Iran has officially rejected Trump's letter offering negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. President Donald Trump is upping the ante and has issued an ultimatum to Iran, telling NBC during a telephone interview that, if they don't make a deal, there will be bombing, and it will be bombing the likes of which they have never seen before. What is peace through strength? In clear contrast to Biden's don't policies, Trump is willing to use the stick. Why do we say that? Because don't means nothing if you just say don't without doing something about it when the red lines are crossed.
Mr. President, to Iran in this moment.
Don't.
One would say over 200 missiles and drones, including ballistic missiles launched at Israel, crossed the don't line. Speaking softly without willingness to use the big stick only causes adversaries to stop believing you are serious. It's like the boy who cried wolf story. The big stick is only useful when adversaries believe you will use it. The roots of this standoff can be traced back to 2018, when the Trump administration unilaterally withdrew the United States from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal. This agreement, negotiated by the Obama administration and other world powers, had imposed strict limits on Iran's nuclear activities in exchange for the lifting of crippling economic sanctions, but ignored Iran's nuclear ambitions, as no peaceful use of nuclear power requires 60% enrichment. At the same time, Obama returned about $150 billion to Iran, which they used to fund organizations like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Trump, however, argued that the deal was fatally flawed and failed to address Iran's ballistic missile program and its destabilizing activities in the Middle East. Iran, for its part, has vehemently denied seeking nuclear weapons. This past weekend, Iran celebrated their annual Al-Quds Day, a day dedicated for burning the American and Israeli flags and chanting "Death to America." In Yemen, the Houthis celebrated the day with their leader, saying that they would escalate their attacks on shipping and on Israel. In response to the Yemeni Houthi leader's threats, United States has hit over 100 targets and eliminating at least 58 Houthi leaders in a display of military might. The United States has significantly bolstered its military presence in the Persian Gulf region. Trump's moves, widely seen as a warning shot to Iran, have raised concerns about the potential for the U.S. to bomb Iran. At the heart of this military deployment are carrier strike groups, a potent symbol of American naval power. The Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group, which includes 7 vessels in total, will soon travel to the Red Sea and join the Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group, to project American strength and demonstrate the United States' unwavering commitment to establish deterrence against Iran. In addition to the Carrier Strike Group, the Pentagon has also deployed B-2 bombers to the island of Diego Garcia, a strategically located British territory in the Indian Ocean. Iran, in response to these military maneuvers, has vowed to retaliate forcefully against any attack on its soil. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, a powerful branch of the Iranian military, has threatened to target American military assets and interests in the region if provoked. And now Iran threatens the annihilation of the U.S. and Israel during their Al-Quds celebration. In the meantime, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegeseth emphasizes the need for deterrence during his recent trips abroad.
I would love to comment on the Houthi campaign because of the skill and courage of our troops. I've monitored it very closely from the beginning. And you see, we've been managing 4 years of deferred maintenance under the Trump administration. Our troops, our sailors were getting shot at as targets. Our ships couldn't sail through. And when they did shoot back, it was purely defensively or at shacks in Yemen. President Trump said, no more. We will reestablish deterrence, we will open freedom of navigation, and we will ultimately decimate the Houthis, which is exactly what we're doing as we speak from the beginning, overwhelmingly.
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegeseth emphasized deterrence during his visit to the Philippines, his first stop in Asia. He says the U.S. is establishing deterrence, in the strongest assurance yet by the U.S. under President Donald Trump to maintain security in Asia, as well as Iran.
There's a long line of countries in the past who have attempted to test U.S. resolve. We are resolved at this time, at this moment, to work with our partners, to reestablish the warrior ethos, to rebuild our military and reestablish deterrence, and come alongside our allies and partners, first and foremost, in this region.
Iran's leaders view the Trump administration's maximum pressure campaign as an attempt to cripple its economy and force regime change. The Trump administration's sanctions have devastated the country's economy. The Iranian rial has plummeted in value, inflation has soared, and unemployment has skyrocketed. The sanctions have also led to shortages of essential goods, including medicine and medical supplies. This economic hardship that the United States has implemented through the maximum pressure campaign is working, but it probably won't get Iran to the negotiating table. Senator Lindsey Graham explained this on Face the Nation.
Welcome back to Face the Nation. We turn now to the chairman of the Budget Committee, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, who joins us this morning from Clemson, South Carolina. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Near miss with the government shutdown, sir, and I thought we'd be talking about a lot of domestic policy, but President Trump's point of view seems to be overseas in this past week. Certainly a lot of action. I looked at the last time we spoke, you were advocating for President Trump to bomb Iran. You said there's a 1 in trillion chance you'll degrade the Iranian nuclear program through diplomacy. Since then, President Trump has offered negotiations. Are you softening your stance?
Well, I don't mind negotiating as long as we get the outcome that we all desire. They can't have a nuclear bomb. So I think there is a 1 in a trillion chance the Ayatollah would ever genuinely give up his quest for a nuclear weapon. He wants a nuclear weapon to use it. He wants to destroy Israel, kill all the Jews. He's a religious Nazi. He wants to purify Islam and drive us out of the region. Yeah, I think he's a fanatical religious Nazi who would use a bomb. But let's talk to him. And if he really is sincere, give up enrichment. There are 40 countries in his world that have nuclear power but don't enrich. There's no commercial purpose for enriching uranium at 60%. Mm-hmm. He has enough to make 6 bombs at 60%. So turn that all over the international community. We'll pay for it. Get out of the enrichment business, and we'll help you with your nuclear power program. If he'll do all those things, then I will have been proven wrong.
Mm-hmm. That's a long to-do list, and so far, no indication
Not
that
really.
he's taking the offer.
If you don't want a bomb, give up enrichment. You don't need enrichment for nuclear power. You do need enrichment to make a bomb. It's not that hard.
Understood.
The world watches with bated breath as the standoff between the United States and Iran continues to escalate, its trajectory fraught with uncertainty and the potential for devastating consequences. The situation, a tinderbox of geopolitical tensions and historical grievances, has left experts and policymakers alike grappling with the potential outcomes and the best course of action to avert disaster. One possible outcome, albeit a highly undesirable one, is the outbreak of a full-blown military conflict. Another possible, though less likely outcome is a negotiated settlement. Expert opinions on the situation vary widely, reflecting the complexity of the issues at stake. Some experts believe that the risk of war is real and imminent, while others argue that neither side has an appetite for conflict and that cooler heads will eventually prevail. There is a general consensus, however, that the situation is highly volatile and that the potential for miscalculation is high. Trump is serious, but with an Islamist country like the Islamic Republic of Iran, who has rejected peace talks, it seems the only way to stop them from obtaining a nuclear weapon is with actual military kinetic blunt force. Carry a big stick and be willing to use it? Sometimes the end result is the same. The ball is in Iran's court. What do you think will happen? Let us know in the comments.